What's going on, guys? So with this video, I really want to send a little bit of empowerment and a little bit of encouragement your way. So if you like this video or if you find any value in it, please leave a little message in the comments below or just send me a message directly. So I guess with this video, I wanted to really convey to people that the life you were given is not necessarily the life that you have to take, if that even makes sense. So, we all have backgrounds, we all have history, we all have things in our lives that like make us who we are. But at the root of it all, and at the end of the day, we all are all human beings who are on the same level, on the same playing field. And I think that was my mindset from a very young age. I've always kind of had that mindset and still do. And I feel like my belief is, if that is true, and I really believe that, then why do I continue, I guess, to accept things that I don't necessarily value or appreciate or want in my life? And I started to see around me that that was because I was in an environment or around people that brought me down. And I didn't even realize that other people could affect me the way they did until I started to kind of counteract, in a defense mode, because our brains are wired, to go into two separate ways. At least that's what I was always taught, and it was either fight or flight. And so when I was flying, I was at a job where I liked going into work. I was in a good mood. I made good money, got along with everybody. Everything was great. And then, you grow up, you get a little bit older, and you start to value different things. And I'm the kind of person who, like I said, I'm on the same playing field with everyone, so I don't see people above me or below me. It's not that I'm disrespectful of like my elders or anything like that. It's just, because I'm very respectful, but because I'm in the South, like you have to be respectful to your elders down here. But it's just a fact, like, just because you're 50 years old or just because you're 17 years old, if we're all working in the same area, doing the same thing, we're all equal. And so that was just my, that's my outlook about life. And what I love about what I've learned in this little journey, if you will, this little ramble, is that when you are unhappy, you cannot fight that. And so your body or your mind goes into flight mode as a reserve form of protection, and you may not even realize it until you constantly feel like everything is against you. I remember feeling like I didn't understand why who I was or what I was didn't work anymore in my environment. And it was simply because, for no other reason, then I just didn't need to be there anymore. And that was because it's time for me to grow and move and move on with my life. And that goes with anyone. I feel like a lot of us suffer through our jobs. We don't care to change what we do because we're comfortable, and the fact is, if we're comfortable, we're not growing and we're not changing. So being uncomfortable is a part of becoming a better person and becoming, who you're truly meant to be. And I definitely don't think I realized that until I was in a situation where I was constantly fighting all the time with work and home. And I don't know what happened. I just decided one day to see what would happen if I went to work in a different mood. And then it turned into, well, people see what I'm trying to change? And does it matter if they see? Does it matter to them? Does it matter to me? Do I need to explain it to people? And I finally got to a point where I decided that in order for me to be happy, in order for everyone to be happy, I had to do what was right for me and what was best for me. And what's best for me is to be able to help people and to be able to connect with people and not be fighting people constantly, because I feel like you can take your life in either direction. You can fight the world, or you can flight, you can be with the world and you can do what everyone else does, which is this I don't want to call it a 9-to-5 gig, but it really is, where we just kind of hand our lives over to a job, and then we say, well, when we're off work, this is what we'll do. but I don't want to constantly be handing it over, my life, handing it over one and the other, because I don't want to spend the next 40 years and to even really fathom that I could work 40 hours for the next 40 years and retire is foolish. It really is. And so I just started seeing things and started experiencing, a change in myself, that I wanted something different, wanted something better. And it wasn't until I found, multi-level marketing, which is a big taboo, no word amongst so many people. But it wasn't until I found multi-level marketing that I saw that I could really change the course of my life. And it's only a matter of time before everyone sees and catches on. And this is how you will, in fact, earn a living, where people will be paid by production, like waitresses are, as opposed to an hourly wage. And that's exactly what multi-level marketing is. You're being paid by how much you do. So, for example, waiting tables. I work with a woman named Sonia who had been at this same restaurant for 15 years. She was averaging crazy money every day. And I was like, what are you doing? Because I'm working the same shift with you. I have the same tables. What are you doing? And I would just watch her. And I would just see what she did. And all of a sudden, I would start, taking people's cards from the table and be like, oh, I got that for you. I'll ring it up for you. Because she would do that. And then I would see, constantly being attentive, constantly being attentive. So I was like, okay, well, people want to be noticed. They want to make sure that you're paying attention to what they're doing. And I'm not going to lie. You've all had that waitress who just is inconvenienced by her job. Like, God, here's your coffee. Talking to my friend. We've all had that waitress. And that waitress doesn't make any money. But the one that keeps coming to you and making sure you're good and constantly checking on you and says, how's your day? What you been up to? I saw you last week. How you been? Making those connections with people is how you make bigger money. Multi-level marketing is the exact same approach. It's about making connections. It's about meeting people and talking to them and seeing how they're succeeding, doing the same thing. It's about copying the success that you see and multiplying it for yourself. And it's genius, because when I started watching that, when I started seeing that, my money, I would say, went up by about 50%. I remember one night, worked a Sunday night, was in a horrible mood, and I made $60, and my friend made $120. We had the same amount of tables, the same amount of people, and I was baffled. And it's because when you have a poor attitude, you don't make good money. So, but enough about waiting tables. I'm trying to get out of that business, right? But for real, this is what the world is changing into, is connections. Like, why wouldn't you want to be in a job, if you want to call it that, but why wouldn't you want to be somewhere or do something where you can connect with people every single day? I enjoy waiting tables simply because I enjoy connecting with people. And I love running, a business with doTERRA and having a way to use my connections in a more amplified way, and in a way where I'm helping people, get products that are absolutely 100% natural, that are not curing anything. I don't plan to cure or treat or, diagnose anyone, but I can tell you that after going to the gym, which is why I'm in my robe, after going to the gym and doing an hour leg day, running and stairs and squats and lunges, and putting on Deep Blue Rub in the last 10 minutes, my legs are no longer stiff. It's no longer freezing cold. I have immensely less pain than I had 10 minutes ago, immensely. And I'm able to use a product that I can help myself, and I can teach others how to do the exact same thing. Which is why I guess I wanted to make this video, was to show you that there are other ways to create a living. I never would have believed in a million years that I would be selling essential oils online. I definitely didn't. But I do remember whenever I started in this journey, when I'm, 22 years old, married, and waiting tables, and just kind of doing that to get by. And I remember thinking, what do I want to do with my life? And at the root cause of all of it, I wanted to help people. And it didn't even make any sense to me, because that's such a broad, spectrum. That's wonderful. Everybody wants to help people, Michelle. That's what my mom calls me. But what do you want to do? How do you want to help people? And when I was waiting tables, I thought to myself, this makes me a good money. I mean, it earns me a good living. So if I were going to treat my customers, a certain way, how would I treat them? And I would treat them how I would want somebody who's coming into my house. Like if you're coming to dinner to eat. And so, that's the beautiful part about waiting tables, when you actually make connections with people, when you see them every day. But, it's tiring work. It's exhausting. And I was definitely looking for a better way and found a better way. And I enjoy sharing, this other aspect of it, because a lot of people hear multi-level marketing and they don't want to hear it. But when you look at it the same way that you do waiting tables, that the girl who's shining is going to make the most money. The girl who's complaining, or even letting her customers see that she's complaining, FYI, please don't do that. You look like an idiot. Just saying. You're literally talking your money out the door. Just don't do it. So anyway, so multi-level marketing is just like waiting tables. It really is. When you are attentive, when you show up, when you work at it constantly, when you give a fuck, it works. And with doTERRA, that's literally all you have to do, is you have to show up and you have to care. And that's it. You have to care about taking care of yourself. And then when you start serving others and sharing with others, you have to care about taking care of them as well. But you have to take care of yourself first. Personal development, 15 minutes every single day, just to take time for yourself, doing something that you enjoy, whether it's yoga, which is amazing, and I definitely recommend it. Tapping is a new form of, I guess, it's called emotional freeing tapping, EFT tapping. And I've done a few different episodes, if you will. Something that's, it's interesting. I definitely recommend it. I'll put a link on here for Brad Yates. It's really interesting. But, I really got to say, I really do enjoy what I do now. I enjoy that I can take the good aspects of all of my life and I can combine it into this, amazing new journey of wellness that I can share with millions and millions of people. And I'm very excited to do that. So